Hi everyone, and I'm welcoming you in this video in which we are going to create a WordPress theme completely from scratch, just from some HTML. And here is our HTML. Let me just show you how it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty simple. We have just 2 pages here. I'm gonna open it. So it's like our home page. We have a slider right here, some posts probably, and a menu. That's it. And we have also a page template, which is just a regular page, nothing special at all. We have some title, some content, and that's pretty much it. And we are going to create a WordPress theme from that. So after that, you can change everything in your theme. You can change slides, you can change these posts and menu, everything. So we are going to code all that stuff just as a part of WordPress theme. And I will show you it step by step. But before we begin, what tools I'm gonna use in this tutorial. And actually it's just 2 things. The first one is my code editor. This one I'm usually using. And the second thing is localhost. I'm using this one, but you can use anything. You can work directly on your server as well. And of course, it's Google Chrome. You also have to know that there are 2 completely different approaches of creating a WordPress theme today. And the first one is when you do everything with blocks. So this should be block, this should be blocks as well, menu, also blocks, and it's kind of using a new WordPress full site editing feature. And the second approach is, I can call it actually an old school approach, is when you do some PHP coding, custom fields. Yeah, that's actually what we are going to do in this tutorial, because first, it allows us to create literally anything with WordPress, and second, because in this way you can learn some basic WordPress stuff, which I believe you should do first. So let's start. Let's do something now. I've already created a website for us, so let's open it here. It's on localhost. Here it is, just a clean WordPress install, and let's go to its folder. It's like localhost, YouTube, WP content, themes, and that's just a couple of default themes here. And we need to create our new theme. Let me call it like Misha test, maybe. You can call it whatever you want. And at the same time, we can go to code editor and add this folder here, like just like this. Done. And I have to create here, as you remember, maybe you don't know that, in order for WordPress theme to be ready, you have to create 2 files. It's style CSS and index.php. And in style CSS we can add some theme information. It's actually not required, so you don't have to add it, but just in our case we do it. Misha test theme for YouTube, something like that. We can add author here, but it's also optional. You can skip all those steps maybe theme version, description, and I think it's enough for now. Let's switch to our WordPress dashboard. Let's go to appearance, themes, and you see that our theme is ready to be activated. And when we activate it, and when we go to any website page, you can go to home page, you can open any default WordPress pages and posts like that, sample page, hello world, everything is empty. So just white screen, nothing is here. And why is that? It's because by default, when you create your theme and it has nothing inside, WordPress opens this file for every page by default. So when we don't have another PHP files here, another PHP templates in our theme, by default, WordPress is gonna be opening this index.php file. That should be clear. And it comes to idea that what happens if I go to my HTML file, which is, let's move it actually here, which is on my desktop, and we just move all HTML inside from index.html file to our theme index.php file. What can happen? What do you think? Let's try to do it. So I'm opening it in my code editor. I'll just copy and paste all the code, all the HTML from here to my theme. That's all. And let's try to look. So I open any page and you can see, let's actually never translate this side, and you can see that something happened. So our content is opening, and on the home page it's the same, but it's still here. And if you try to do in your Google Chrome inspect and open a console, you can see a lot of errors here. So our resources, our images, the website tries to open them, but without luck. So if you see, it's actually very interesting. If you look at the URLs of these resources, you can see that it tries to open it in just YouTube/assets/JS, etc. So if I move this assets directory just inside my main WordPress folder, which is YouTube, I will show you. So if I go here and copy it here, the files should be appear on the website. But that's not what I'm gonna actually do at this moment. So I'll remove it and I'll come back to our HTML. I'll copy all this stuff and paste it just inside our theme. And what do you think? Should anything happen right now? Of course not, because WordPress tries to open all these resources from another directory, and it doesn't help. But how I can change it? Let's move back here in our theme, and our goal right now is to fix all these URLs. We have to fix this, we have to fix these images, and not so much actually, but we have to do some stuff. How to do that? The first idea that may come to my mind, and I just want to show you guys it step by step. I know that some of you already know some stuff, Maybe you already created a couple of themes before, but I want to show you it just for those guys who don't have an idea how to create WordPress themes, who are not familiar with any WordPress functions, just super basic. And so what I'm gonna do, I will type a full URL to this CSS file. WP content, next themes, then Misha test / assets. Seems okay. So let's come back to the website. No, not exactly. So what's my HTTP localhost? I forgot website name. Sorry. It's YouTube. That's nice. Yeah. So you can see our CSS is ready. So no images as well. We still have plenty of errors in console, but at this moment we already have something. Let's move on. And now I'm gonna show you a couple of WordPress functions. So the first one, so you can see that our website address, our website domain is for now it's like this, localhost / YouTube. And when we create our WordPress theme on our localhost, and then we're gonna use it on maybe one of our clients' website, or probably we are gonna sell it even. So we shouldn't have any static URLs here, because not everyone gonna use it on the website like this. Maybe it's gonna be like maybe my website, for example, or anything, and we have to change this part into a dynamic part. Let's use this. So this function allows us to print WordPress domain. Actually, not exactly the domain, but the address where our WordPress is installed. So if you go to our WordPress console, you can go to settings general, and that's what that's what this function site URL is going to return. And we are going to use echo PHP function which prints what the function returns. And yeah, nothing happens here because it's still working, which is also great. And our goal now is to replace it everywhere. But before we are going to replace it, I will show you another WordPress function that allows us to dynamically print this whole part. So not only website domain, but the full URL address to our theme folder. And let's do it. Echo get style sheet directory URI. Seems okay. Let's try to check if anything changed here. Yeah, it's working great. And now we are about to replace it everywhere, like here, 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 and so on. I'm just making sure that I did not forget anything. So seems okay. Let's try to make a look. Oh guys, do you see? It's working. And you can see that JavaScript functions are also working. We have slider which is working as well. Nice. And once again, as I have already told you, if you open any page from WordPress dashboard, you can see our front page, no matter what page you're gonna open. Nice. And now is the funny part. Guys, you should never ever include CSS and JS files in your WordPress theme like this. Why that? And I can actually tell you two reasons. And the first one is because WordPress is very extendable with different plugins. And for example, when you have some, let's say you have just these 5 JavaScript files. They're directly in HTML. So if you install any plugin on your WordPress website, it cannot change those files. It cannot, for example, you have a plugin that allows to merge all the JavaScript files into a single one in order to reduce HTTP requests on your website. And this plugin can do nothing with JavaScript files which are included like this. Or another example, we can see jQuery right here. Let's say that you have multiple plugins on your website, and some of them are gonna use jQuery as well. And when you activate those plugins on your website, they also gonna include jQuery. So you will have jQuery included twice or even 3 times on your website, which is crazy, guys. That's why we should use different WordPress functions and hooks in order to include scripts. And here we have just a single CSS file and styles. Let's do it right now. So first of all, we have to create another PHP file right here. It is gonna be functions. What this is a very common mistake. People love using function PHP, but you should use functions. I don't know, please remember that. So we have functions PHP file right here, and we have to do something. Let's use, I will type a little bit of code right here and explain it just in a little bit. So what do we have here? We have a action hook, and we have a couple of WordPress functions, just without arguments, just function names, let's say. And WP Enqueue style we should use to include WordPress CSS files. I mean just regular CSS files into your WordPress theme. And another function, which is WP Enqueue script, we should use to include scripts, JavaScript files into a theme. And let's start doing that. So we have first argument of the function is just a name of this. In this case, it's style. We can name it whatever we like. We can use even main or main2. Doesn't matter. Main1. And here we have to use our URL, which is first of all this part, and the second part is like this. It's actually done. And now we have to include JavaScript files. Let's for simplicity just copy and paste all of that into functions PHP. We will remove this HTML, please don't worry about it. And jQuery. I will duplicate it 5 times, and scroll legs and scale. I'm gonna do it just for every JavaScript file also. Almost done. We can remove this part. Also, I recommend you to set up a third parameter of WP Enqueue script function, which is dependencies. So you can use an array here, and let's say this JavaScript file is dependent on jQuery, and let's say that these two ones are also dependent on jQuery, and the last one is gonna be dependent on jQuery, this dependent on everything, like this and like this. Dependency means that these JavaScript files are not going to be included on your web page before the scripts they are dependent on. Let's save on that and come back here. What do you think we should do here, guys? Please see that we have just HTML, which starts here, ends here, and we have to include scripts and CSS file somehow. And here we come to two more WordPress functions. The first one, it should be when you create a WordPress theme, and it's a not full site editing one, it should be also included before closing head tag. We have WP head function, which is always before this HTML tag, and we can remove this. The second function is WP footer, which should be always included before closing body tag. So quite easy. WP head before closing head tag and WP footer before closing body tag. Simple. And just a hint, as you can see, I included this function just instead of JavaScripts, and I included this function just instead of our style CSS file anyway. So these functions allow us to use these functions and this action hook to include our CSS file here and to include our JavaScript files right here. And as you can, okay, let's first of all let's check how it looks like on the website. Something is not right, but why? First, guys, please notice that we have this admin bar appeared here, which is great. But I got some I think just sorry, just a small mistake. And that's all. Everything is working. And now these functions are included the correct way, and you should always do it using WP Enqueue style, WP Enqueue script. There are a couple of more functions like this, like register style, register script, but the common idea is the same. You are registering your files like CSS and JavaScript files with some identifier, and later these files are going to be included on your web page using WP head and WP footer functions. Okay guys, before we jump into the menu part, I would like to show you just a couple of more things while we are here. The first one is we included jQuery just from our assets directory, but it is not necessary. I mean, because there are some JavaScript files that are part of WordPress core. So it's not even correct to include the jQuery this way. So for those JavaScript files, we can just use their ID here, and it is gonna be included just directly from WordPress core, which is great. And the second thing is when we start doing this WP head thing stuff, we can also use this function to print title tag dynamically. So how to do that? We can use another filter hook here, add action after setup theme, and add theme support title tag. So let's refresh this page, and if we go, oh sorry, we have to save the changes. And here we have test by Misha, which is just our website name. We can type here just another WordPress website, and we can see that our title has been changed again. So you can use in functions PHP add theme support title tag. And finally, let's do something with our menu here. If you go to WordPress admin, and we can actually try to switch to one of the default WordPress themes, not like a full site editing ones. This are the themes for a full site editing, but we can switch to 2021, and we can see in appearance there is a menu part. So, and we have to do the same for our exact theme. So let's switch it back. And how to do that? Everything starts in functions PHP file as well. Register. Now menus, array. And in this array, we have to specify all our menus on the website. What do I mean? In our case, we have just one menu, which is here. We can say it's like main menu, header menu, doesn't matter. But some websites may have also menu in website footer, maybe somewhere else, and there could be multiple menus on the same page. And we have to register the certain amount of menus we are going to use. So for our case, we have just head menu. Let's call it main menu, like this. And I'm gonna use this to display this. And now when I click save, and if I go to WordPress admin to appearance, we can see we have menus here. But for sure, everything is still static. Okay, let's find where it is. Oh, here's our menu. Do you see? And our goal to display the menu dynamically just from WordPress admin. Okay, let's create it with homepage and page link. And once you create your menu, you can see that there is a display location option. And here we have main menu, just the only one option. And that's exactly what we registered here. So head menu, main menu. If I change it, something like that. and go refresh this page, you can see it's changed here. So our goal is to register multiple menu locations where different menus can be displayed. Then we go to appearance menus and create a new menu and connect it to a specific theme location. In our case, it's pretty simple. We have just one menu, one theme location, so no complexity here. But sometimes you might have multiple menus and you maybe would like to display the different menus depending on the day of the week or any kind of interesting stuff. So let's just select main menu here and click Save Menu button. That's all. And now our goal is to display it right here. We have okay, we have just the same pop page and the same home link. We have to somehow see the difference. Let's add a post in the menu, hello world, like this. Save. And here we have our old static menu from HTML. So what do we do now? We are going to switch to index.php file and to use this function, WP nav menu. Okay, this function actually have the only one argument, which is an array. And in this array, we have to specify some menu configuration. It could be theme location as well, and many different kind of stuff. Let's start with theme location like this. Okay, I'm kind of afraid to refresh this page, but anyway, let's do it. Okay, we see that our menu is displayed. That's good news, but it's kind of broken, and we even lose our old menu, which was the static, or maybe not. No, we lose it. Okay, let's go to view page source. Let's scroll to the menu part, and we can see now very clearly we have our static menu and in the beginning, and we have a dynamic menu which was printed by WP nav menu function here. Do you see it? So all we need to do is to just make it look just like this one. So in order to do so, we just need to make sure that our custom menu have the same tag, the same ID, the same class here. Let's add some configuration. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you this. So where to find some function options, all is here. And you can use WordPress documentation anytime. It's super convenient. Okay, so let's go back right here. Let's begin with changing this container to this one. How can we do that? Let's check in the docs. Oh, I can see container ID, I can see container class, and I can see container HTML tag. And that's exactly what we need. Enough. Then we go with container ID, and our container ID is menu. Hit save, go here and refresh, and nice, we can see that the default static menu have nav and ID menu, and this is exactly what we need, exactly the same. Now let's proceed with this and this. How to do that? Go to documentation again, and wow, we can see menu class parameter, which is exactly what we need. Sorry. And we are gonna use links here. Save, and let's check. So it matches now. So we have this, and we have the same class right here, and the same ID, and the same HTML tag right here. Okay, we can now remove the static menu and see what happens on our web page. I'm gonna refresh it. So it's kinda working, and yeah, that's our menu. It's printed dynamically. Of course, as usual, every page displays our home page, and that's actually what we are gonna do next. But for now, you can see that menu is fully working, guys. But what should we do next? And I think the best starting point here is to get a clear picture of what type of content we have in WordPress admin here, and what type of content we have in our HTML files here. And if you go right here, you can see that we have by default like posts and pages type of content, and here we have home page, which is index.html, and like a static page template. We didn't use it yet, right here. And okay, somehow we should get them connected. We can start actually with our home page. For now, we are using just like for now we use it for every page on our website, which is of course not the best idea, but how to get it right? First of all, I would like to show you a very amazing picture from WordPress documentation. It's like WordPress template hierarchy. If you go right here, you can scroll a little bit, and we have all the possible WordPress theme files variations here, and how to use them depending on type of page you're about to configure. Let's check, for example, a front page, which is already on our website. So we can go in the left part of the scheme, and you can see site front page. The first file WordPress will try to use for a front page, it's frontpage.php. We don't have that file, but for example, if you just try to rename it frontpage.php, and remember guys, index.php file should also always be in your theme. So you have to create another file right here. So let's go back to our project, and yeah, I just about to create a new file. I will name it index.php, and that's kinda okay. Let's see what changes we have on our website. As you can see from the URL of this page, it is just a post, hello world post. If you refresh this page right now, we have just test, which means our index.php file is included right now, but our home page is not gonna be displayed anywhere except if you go directly to the front page of the website, or for example to the domain of the website. Here we have a front page, and once again, it is not the best way to include a front page on your website. So this file is rarely used, and I do not recommend you to use it as a front page because it's kinda very strict option. So there is no way in WordPress admin to change that. So if you have front page, it always gonna be displayed on the website front page. So let's go back to the scheme and see next. So if we go further, we have an option, like two different ways. Page shown on front, post shown on front. What does it mean? If you go to WordPress reading settings, so it's like settings reading, you can see an option right here. Your home page displays your latest posts or a static page. And depending on what this option is set up, this will go a different way. So if latest posts are displayed on our front page, WordPress goes that way and will try to include the home page on your front page template as your website front page. And if you go that way, then it's gonna be used like a static page. Static page, it's anything that's here in pages. They are called static pages. And yeah, let's check it. So it goes like in a static page way. First of all, it will try to use a static page template. I will show you what does it mean just in a little bit. And then it will go that way, like custom.php, that's a custom page template, by the way. Then page and its slug, which is this thing, and so on. Page ID, then just page.php, etc. Okay, let's try to play a little bit more with file names. Let's call it page.php. And now we have our front page is gonna be displayed just index.php file because how it works. We have our site front page. There is no front page PHP file. Then we go next. What's displayed on our front page? Let's check reading settings, latest posts. Then we go that way. Are there a homepage.php in our theme? No. Go next. And finally we end up in index.php file. That's how it works. So, okay, nice. But what's the best option to use for our website front page? The best option, I think, in my opinion, and it also very widely used, is to use a custom page template for our front page. What does it mean? It means that you go to your theme directory and you change your page name just like to anything. Our front page, for example. It can be really anything except some system file names, of course. And then we're gonna open it. And in the beginning, we just add a little bit of PHP comments like this template name. Template name, homepage, just like that. That's actually all we need to do. Okay, then we go here. Once again. And we're gonna add our homepage right here, homepage. And we choose our custom page template, which appears here, homepage. You see that? Let's publish it. So this page is gonna be display our index.html file for now, and we should set it as our front page. So we go back to reading settings, we say homepage displays. Nice. That's our custom page template and our custom page. Yeah, a lot of steps. And yeah, now we have our homepage displayed correctly. And then if we go to our menu, which is dynamically printed here, and go to any page, we just see that index.php file is displayed for any of that. Here it is. Okay, what should we use for our static pages or for our posts? We already have HTML for that. right here, page.html. We're gonna use it, and we have to decide how to name our file in our theme. So it's like a singular page. For example, let's move in that direction, like single post page. Is it a custom post, attachment post, or blog post? I think that. Go next. Also, we have an option to set a custom page template for any specific blog post or for any specific page on our website, but we are not gonna do that right now. And then we have single post.php, we have single PHP, we have page PHP, and then, please, that's actually very interesting, because we have the only page template for both our posts and static pages. We can use this file to display both of them, singular PHP. So let's go back to our theme. Let's name it like singular.php, and of course we still need index.php file, so we just, that's not what I was about to do, and let's just duplicate it, or yeah. So we have singular PHP and index PHP, which is not gonna be used for any pages except maybe error page for now in our specific example. So let's go back to our HTML. We just gonna do almost the same steps we did for our front page. So we open it. Here we just copy and paste it into a singular.php file, and we have to replace all the URLs here. But before we do that, please pay attention that for now we will have almost the same header and footer for page and for home page. So we have almost the same menu right here. We have a similar header, we have similar footer. Of course, we have the same CSS and JavaScript files on both of those pages. So we have to create two files, like a new file, header.php and footer.php, just like that. Then we go to our custom page template, which is our home page, and we have to decide what is that part of the code which gonna be the same on all the pages. So here we have like a slider. It's not gonna be displayed on our static page templates, of course, and where it is. Okay, anyway, I think you remember that. So there is no slider, and but all of these pages have the same menu. So I think we can use that code as header PHP, like this. And then we go back here and we have to include it using function getHeader. The same we're gonna do for the footer. I believe it starts here, and also we are using getFooter function, and this code goes here, just like this. Let's just check if our home page is okay for now. View. Yeah, it's okay. And let's now go back to singular.php file, and also we have to choose the same piece of code. I think it ends right here, and we are using getFooter, sorry, getHeader right here, and we're gonna use the getFooter function right here, like just like this. And for now, let's check if we have any other resources with wrong URLs, and I believe there is none of them. Okay, So let's check it out. We have a home page, which is great, and then if you go to sample page, yeah, it's kind of displaying, and we go to a specific post, and we also have another page template used for that. Okay, but how to make the content of this page to be displayed dynamically? So, for example, not to show generic page template here, but to display hello world, which is the name of this post. And the main idea here that WordPress not only understands what template to use for a specific page, but also it knows what content to display depending on the page we are currently in. And I will show you how to do that. For example, if you go back to our singular.php file, and now our goal is to display this content, this title, or maybe this title. Actually, this page has two titles. Okay, it doesn't matter. And we have to display all that dynamically. And we can do that using WordPress loop functions. They work the way that on every page, when you visit any page of your website on WordPress, WordPress creates a query in the beginning of the page before any content is displayed. And then you can use a WordPress loop. I will show you how. And this loop uses query information to display the specific correct content on that page. And for static pages and for posts, it can be done the easiest way. We have to start with the post function, and after that you can use the functions like the title. For example, in order to display a post title, you can use function the content in order to display post or page content dynamically. Let's remove that for now. And there are also a couple of more functions, though I'm not sure that we need them. Okay, let's just display here the excerpt. It's like a short description, excerpt, like a short description of the post. Let's use, I don't know, maybe publish date, and it's gonna be the time function. And yeah. I don't know what to display here in our second title of the post. So, okay, let's just copy and paste the same title right here. And now we are coming back to our post. And what do you see here? We have post content. It is displayed correctly. We have publish date, and by default it just displays the time when it was published. But actually, let me just make it like a date. I think that way. Coming back here, refresh the page, and yeah, we have now May 25th. And this is our short content, short description. Let me show you what it is. If your post or page doesn't have a short description, it's gonna be used just the beginning of the content. So if you have a lot of content here, it's just gonna be a couple of lines of it. And I'm coming back here, and here is our excerpt, and I don't know, this is a short desk of this post, like that. And we are gonna refresh it, and here it is. Now let's check sample page. Nice. And as you can see, sample page is also displayed dynamically for now. Always great. And coming back here, always great as well. And as you can see, what I said about a short description of the post, here we have kinda a lot of text, and our excerpt is just 3 lines. And we have this here. Okay, what's next? Let's come back to our home page, and here our goal is to display slider and to display these posts. And that's all, guys. Actually, we are almost done. What I would like you to say about these posts? First of all, we can use WordPress global loop here as well. So we do not have to do something custom to this or to decide what posts should be displayed here. We can use the global loop like we use it here, but here it is just for one post, and here we can use it for multiple posts. It's just one option, but in this case we cannot use this page template for our home page, which is actually very important to consider. And we have to go right here, reading, and change it to your latest posts. Would you like me to show you how to do that? And we have also another option. We can create a custom queries, so which allows us to display just anything, any posts by I don't know, by their date, by their title, by some custom fields. Just a lot of options for us. Or we can just display the latest posts if we use this with that option. So let's for now let's just display these posts, and when we are done with them, we can come back to our slider, which is actually the last thing I'm gonna show you in this tutorial. Okay, I am going to show you how to display these posts for now. Let's begin with just creating one more post, because here we have just 2 of them, and here we have 1. Okay, actually I'm just gonna copy it like this, and maybe this. Please notice that our posts also have images, and it's also one thing we have to check in this tutorial. And here we do not have an option to select an image for our post. Okay, now we have, let's publish it. Now we have 2 posts right here, and we are going to display them. As I said, let's switch back to our general reading settings, and okay, I'm having just tons of browser tabs. Let's close all of them, and let's go back to your latest posts. Okay, we did that, and now WordPress template hierarchy, and on this theme we have to check how we have to rename our file. So currently we are using for our home page this custom page template, but we cannot use it anymore because we changed this option from page shown on front, and it goes that way. We changed it to post shown on front, and then it goes that way. So we either have to use home.php file, or we can just come back to index.php. What would you choose? Let's rename it to home.php. I mean, because we already have index.php file right here, also gonna open a lot of tabs, or sorry, close a lot of tabs, and let's rename it home.php. We do not need template name anymore. Here we have it saved. Let's just refresh our home page, and nothing changed, which is great actually. And now we are gonna to display those posts. It's our slider, and this is the section with posts, and this is a single post. So when you do that, I recommend you to remove all the copies, because it's gonna be displayed dynamically. And now let's just make some changes, just like we did in our singular.php file. So the title goes right here. This is, I believe, short description of the post. So let's just copy and paste that right here. Also, we have a link here, so we have to display the link to the post dynamically, which is the permalink function. And here I believe it's our publish date. We replace it that way. Okay, also I'm gonna show you what to do with images, but it's just a couple minutes later. So now we have just one post, but we have to display multiple posts. And do you remember that I used the post function? Here, when we display multiple posts, we have to use it in a loop. How it looks? We begin just maybe here. We are using while have posts, and here are the post function. And while right here. Also, I'm gonna use a condition in case we just do not have any posts and this section shouldn't be displayed. So if we have posts, and we are closing this condition right here, just like that. Okay, let's see what's changed. Yeah, as you can see, our posts is kind of displayed dynamically. We have dynamically displayed title, short description, also a link. So as you can see, if I click learn more, I will go directly into the post. The same happens with our another post right here, as you can see. But we have static images. We still have static images. What can we do with them? Okay, first of all, we have to turn on the function that allows us to set a featured images for posts. In order to do so, we go back to our function PHP file. We go into add action after setup theme hook, and just add theme support post thumbnails, like this. And here we can actually specify the content, the type of the content we are gonna use the thumbnails for. For example, I'm gonna use it for posts, and also I'm gonna use it for pages, why not? And now we can refresh this page, and you can see that we can set a featured image right here. And if we go to hello world, we can see an option also, and I set that we also enabled it for pages, which is right here. Okay guys, so let's just set a couple of images from our HTML. We're gonna back to the post. We're gonna click here, select image, go to images, and okay, let's just use this one and update. Now we're gonna set an image right here. We're gonna use wow, I like that. We're gonna use this one. Also hit update, and the images are set right now. And we are coming back to our home.php template, and we have to somehow display the image here. In order to do so, we're just gonna use another loop function, which is the post thumbnail, and we can leave it as that way for now. And if we go back to our home page, refresh it, you can see that the images are here right now, and all seems to be good, but it's because these images are just the same size like in the HTML template. If we try to change, for example, the image of this post from this one to, we can use one from the slider, for example, or maybe even this. Oh no, it's not from the slider. Okay, just spending a lot of time to choose. Let's use this one and set it right here, update here, and refresh this page. And as you can see, our image doesn't look as expected at all, and it's because it has another image size, not the same. It should be the same should be used as a post thumbnail. And the solution to that is using WordPress image sizes. You can set different kind of sizes right here. Also, you can register your own image sizes, but it's more than enough. And because in our theme we're gonna use these image sizes like post thumbnails, I believe I can set it, the sizes of those images in this first option, and for slider, I don't know, maybe for slider we can use originals for now. Okay, so we do not need all that sizes. Let's set them to 0, so they shouldn't be generated every time. And for this size we have to decide what image size is right here, and we have like 550 and in width and 300 in height. Okay, or maybe just I don't know. And this size is, yeah, 557. Okay, that's a weird image size, but let's use it, why not? Like this. This option means that this image will be cropped if it doesn't fit those sizes after resizing. For example, if you have not a horizontal image but a vertical one, anyway it's gonna be cropped, and as a result you will have a horizontal image, if possible, of course. Let's refresh these settings pages and go back here. We have to set an image size inside the function. So the main image size is like thumbnail. It's like if you're gonna use medium, you are using this. If you're gonna use large, you're using this. Let's set it for some thumbnail. But guys, if you refresh this page, you can see that it doesn't look very good anyway. Why is that happening? Because when we go to this page first time, you might remember that there were different image sizes here. So, and when we just change the option, the images aren't going to be generated automatically. In order to regenerate our images, we have to use a specific plugin or any of the plugins for that. And the great news that all that plugins are free. For example, force regenerate that. Oh no, please come back. Yeah, so this one is really good. So you have to just activate it, and then if you're gonna go to tools, force regenerate thumbnail option, and hit that button. Because we do not have a lot of images always done already, and as you can see here, we have deleted sizes 1, 2, 3, and a couple of sizes have been regenerated. This one is kinda a system WordPress image size, and this one is our thumbnail. So let's go back to our home page, and as you can see, all is working great. And besides, we saved a little bit of our disk space usage as well. And so, the last but not the least, we have to do something with our slider. So the idea actually is almost the same. We have to display the images, we have to display some content right here in a loop, but where should we put it? So we are not gonna use posts for that, we are not gonna use pages for that, but we could. Of course, you could display pages right here or display latest posts. Why not? You can do that. But in order to make our tutorial more complete, we are gonna use custom fields plugin for that. What are custom fields plugin actually? Let me just tell you in a couple of words. If you go to any of your WordPress posts and you can go to preferences here, and here you can see custom fields. Let's turn it on and refresh the page, and here you can see that you can add some additional post settings. For example, post views, and we can set it to 5,000, for example, and so on. So you can add a lot of post settings using custom fields. So you can display the amount of post views, you can add another featured image, anything. And in order to make this UI more functional, some guys decided to create custom fields plugins for that, to save time, to make UI more functional, and so on. And also, those custom fields plugins later decided why not allow to create option pages as well. So they allow you not to add some custom settings to your content, to your post pages and so on. They allow you to add more settings pages here, or anywhere actually. So that's like a short introduction. What custom fields plugins we have? The most popular one is advanced custom fields for sure. Let's just search for it here, advanced. That one. And I do not like it at all because it makes your website slow, your admin is overloaded with settings you do not actually need, so I do not recommend that and I never use it on my project. And another option is carbon fields. You cannot find it in WordPress plugins directory, but it has its own website, so you can download it here and start with it. And this plugin doesn't makes your website much slower, but it's kind of complex to use. And yeah, but you can use that. It's a good plugin. And actually, let's switch to 3.0. And so for me as a developer, this plugin wasn't enough, so I think it's kind of a little bit more complex, a little bit difficult to use. Not always the UI looks the way I want it. So I decided to create my own plugin, and I'm gonna use it right now to create custom fields. But the idea is the same. So the idea is similar. You have some code snippets, for example, like this. You just copy it, you go to your functions PHP file and paste it right here, and the fields appear in your admin. Okay, let's upload my own plugin. I will go to desktop and its name is Simple Fields. I'm gonna use it. Okay, the plugin is activated and nothing happened in your WordPress admin. That's it's okay, that's the way it should work, because you have to add its own configuration just in functions PHP file, as I've told you before. But now we have to go to plugin documentation, and let's just click this link, and here we have plugin page. I didn't create a separate documentation pages because it's really simple and it doesn't have a lot of documentation, so I need to create a separate site for that. But we have docs here and we have some examples in the beginning of the plugin page. And we have to create an option page for our slider. So we go to options, and I'm just about to copy all this thing and paste it right here. We do not need that. We can change it right here to slider. Slider is here. Actually, we do not need that in this case, so I will remove that. And okay, let's just check what happened on our website. We go to settings and we see a slider option right here. And we have a couple of fields here. We have text field, checkbox, and we have a gallery field. And you might say, what should we use a gallery field for that? And I say no, because as you can see, our slider has not only images, but it also has some short description and a title. So we have to use kind of a repeater field. We go back to my documentation page, and here we have to search for a repeater field. Here it is, and yeah, we just gonna copy and paste that into the fields array like this. So we can say it like my slider field, slides type repeater, and this field has its own subfields. And let's look, what do we need? We need, once again, yes, you might remember that, but I will say it one more time. We need short description, title, image. Okay, so let's start with image. I will paste it in the beginning. So each field has its own ID. We are gonna use this ID to get this field value on our website. And this is a kind of title. and also description. Just like that. I'm gonna refresh this page and we have slides option here, add item. So we have to upload an image. Actually, this is our slider image as well, and we can copy and paste some description. We can add another slide. I like this one. Let's Aurora Borealis. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And some description also goes here. Save on that. And so we have 2 slides for now. And how to display those slides on our website, on our front page. Let's go back to home page, and it's kind of similar how we displayed our posts. So we have to use a loop, and we have to get values from our database. The simplest way is to try to get the option. First of all, let's do that way. Slider, get option, and here we have to use our option name, which is my slider field. Okay, let's do that. And now it would be great to see how this field is structured. Let's just echo preprint our slider and exit on that. Go back here, refresh the page, and we can see that we have an array, and in each array we have also array with fields like image ID, we have title, and we have description. It's kind of array of arrays. So let's start with a condition. If we have a slider, we do not need the same slides, static slides. I'm gonna remove them. Then actually it's gonna be better to rename it to slides. If we have slides, then we're gonna run a for each loop, for each slides as slide, like that, and for each. Also do not forget to end if here. Here we're gonna display like a title, echo slide title. Here we're gonna display a description. By the way, guys, when you're about to print something from the database, and I mean from the custom fields or maybe from option fields, you have to use like functions like that. For example, if somehow HTML appears in your database, it can break the whole your website. So if there are HTML inside of this option, it can really break your website. So we're gonna use ask HTML this here and here. And what should we do with the image? Also we have an image ID. So as you can see, it's not like an URL of the image, it's just an ID. What function to use? Actually, I like to use this function, image I like this one. And yeah, Now let's print. Yeah, it's a little bit more complex. Let's set size to full. And I think we are almost done. I'm gonna remove that part, refresh this page. Oh, I must forgot something. Slide. What? Why? Where's? Okay, I broke something, but where it's broken? I do not understand. HTML. Okay, we have to copy this whole part right now, and let's go back and see what's wrong. Okay, like this. So we have section, which is correct. Now we have article for each, and the image source. It's like the same. This is so I used the title as description, but it shouldn't be an issue. Header, description and title, header closing, this closing, and the section is also closing here. So it kind of feels like all is correctly done. It's just because I used the long text string as a title. Yeah. Well, that's strange HTML, but doesn't matter. Now it's working. So guys, this is it. Our tutorial is finished. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new.